Hey everyone, welcome back to Starting Over with Cheri. I would say this week has been the biggest learning week that I've had since I've started my channel. I had a video get blocked because of copyrighted music. I had accidentally exposed my full name on one of my videos. I found a huge typo in a brand new section that I had created for my shorts. And somewhere in the middle of all of that, I had realized I had been making an even bigger mistake. So today I want to tell you about my issues with YouTube. I basically want to tell you about my week because I think I learned some lessons that are going to make me a better content creator. So the week started with a little bit of a panic. I uploaded one of my shorts like I normally do. Everything seemed fine. So a little while later, I opened up YouTube Studio and I had learned that my video was blocked worldwide. It was blocked because of some copyrighted music. When I tell you my heart dropped because I'm a brand new content creator and I don't need to have anything blocked. My first thought was like, oh no, is this going to hurt my channel? I haven't even gotten off the ground yet. I immediately started doing some research because I had never seen that message before and I was concerned. And that's when I learned something important. The issue wasn't my content. It wasn't my voice, it was the music. And I didn't realize the music was copyrighted because I got it from CapCut. So YouTube blocked the video globally. Once I understood what happened, I removed the music and uploaded the video again. So that basically taught me that I have to be careful when where I get my music from. I thought I was okay because I got it from CapCut. But that just goes to show that CapCut does have music that's copyrighted and that cannot be uploaded to YouTube. Lesson learned. Now, and I thought that was going to be the biggest scare for me. I was wrong because let me tell you what happened a few days later. So a few days later, I uploaded another short. And there was a picture of my college graduation. And after the video was published, I realized my full government name, first name, middle name, and last name, was on the video clip. When I noticed it, I panicked because I thought about all the weird, crazy people in the world and what they could do if they had my full government name. Because people are just weird. People have time on their hands to do crazy stuff. I thought I was going to have to delete the entire video. I barely slept that night because I just kept thinking about it. I just could not rest, knowing that my full government name was included in part of a clip. So I got up and I started doing some research again. And I realized that YouTube actually has an editing kit where after your video is published, you're able to go back in and blur out certain things on a clip. So that's what I did. I was able to blur my name and I didn't have to re-upload the video. I didn't lose my views, but you know what was the surprising part about this? This video that caused me all this panic was one of my best performing shorts for the week. It got a lot of views. So things calmed down. And by this point, I figured, the rest of the week was going to be nice and quiet and easy. I was wrong. Not even close. So this week, I also introduced something new to my shorts. And it's called Starting Over Moment. Actually, it's called Today's Starting Over Moment. I was really excited about it because I want each short to have a story, a a lesson, and then end with some sort of encouragement. After one of my videos, I noticed a typo. Not once, but twice. And it was a huge typo. It was in my new segment. Why did I spell moment wrong? And I know how to spell moment. I think when I was editing, I deleted the end in moment. So I could not have that. No. I couldn't believe I had missed that before publishing it. And at first I was embarrassed. Then I laughed about it, because I'm like, as a content creator, you're going to make mistakes. But then I quickly fixed it. Yes, I quickly fixed it. I actually had to take it down because that is not something I could fix with the YouTube editor, because I had created it using CapCut. So I had to re-upload the video and take the original video down. But it worked out. The important thing is I fixed it, I learned from it, and I moved on. But you know what? The biggest lesson this week, it wasn't about music, it wasn't about my name, and it wasn't about a typo. I had started rewatching some of my older videos, not the shorts, the long form videos. And I watched them and I realized that I was saying the same thing over and over again in each video, just differently. And I'm like, this is boring. People don't want to hear the same stuff every week. And then that's when it hit me. I'm like, my channel, it's not about documenting everything that I eat or each time that I walk 5 miles. It's about telling stories. Real life stories. And so that's when I decided to switch things up a bit. I was like, I need to tell stories from my life. Stories about things that have happened in the past or are currently happening now. Hopefully that my stories will leave some type of encouragement for you guys. And I'm like, that is what will get views, not a list of what I ate for the day. So from now on, my shorts and my videos are going to have a story, a lesson, which is called the Today's Starting Over moment, and hopefully some encouragement, because I think that's more interesting. I feel like it's a better reflection of what my channel is all about. My voice keeps going in and out. I don't know what's going on here today. But yeah, I think it'd be a better reflection of what my channel is about. And so those weren't the only lessons that I learned this week. Okay, so let me tell you about my backdrop situation. If you notice, last week I had a backdrop. It was a gray backdrop, right? When I ordered it, I figured it'd be something, simple. I can easily just like pop up, install it, and just use it whenever I'm recording my long form videos. I imagined it would be simple and very manageable. When it arrived, I opened the box and I started laughing because I'm like, this thing is huge. It was way bigger than I had expected it to be, especially for the little space that I'm filming in. It was just like way too big. But I figured I had to make it work. So after I started tripping over it, I took that bad boy, I packed it up and put it right back in the box and sent it back, which is why I don't have a backdrop today. The lesson for me was, yes, I want to improve my setup, but I have to be realistic about the space, the small space that I have right now and where I'm recording. I realized I don't need everything to look like a studio from day one. I need for it to be functional and sustainable for where I am at today. And honestly, that became my theme for the rest of the week. Being honest about where I am today and still showing up anyway. And that leads me into work. So this week was the celebration of return to office week. There was food, snacks, desserts, you name it. And it was all during the same time that I'm in this July protein project / challenge. So I had to make a decision every day. And that was, am I going to go with the flow of what's in front of me, the food and everything? Or am I going to stick to the commitment that I made to myself? Was I perfect? No. But I stayed consistent. I stayed focused on my protein and I paid attention to what my body needed. Even in the face of temptation, I stayed focused. For me, that was a huge win. It was a huge win because it reminded me that I can still celebrate and still stay aligned with my goals. So when I look back at this past week, I realized it was a lot. I had a video get blocked. I accidentally exposed my full name in a video clip. I found a typo in my brand new segment. I had to send a giant backdrop back to sender. Back to sender, back to where I ordered it from. And I navigated through return to office celebration week while staying on top of my protein game. Starting over isn't neat or perfect. Sometimes you only learn the lesson because you made the mistake. I'm still figuring out YouTube. I'm still figuring out my setup. Still figuring out how to maintain my health goals while celebrating, a real life where there's going to be free food. But I'm not quitting. I'm going to keep telling the truth about what's happening, what's going on, and what I'm encountering. I'm going to keep showing up here one video at a time. So if you're starting over in any area of your life, I hope this reminds you that you don't have to get it right every time. You have to just keep going, keep learning, and just keep going. So if that's the kind of journey you want to follow, go ahead on and subscribe. But wait. There's one more thing I want to tell you guys. So my shorts are going to get a tiny upgrade. I'm still going to do my July protein check-ins. But each week, my shorts are going to follow a theme. And so my starting over moments are going to tie back to that theme. And so last week, the theme was learning and education. You notice I talked about getting my master's degree and the fact that I failed business calculus twice. So that was a theme, education and learning. This week's theme is changing the rules, but not the goal. And I chose that because I'm still trying to figure out how to protect my evenings, which includes setting boundaries and keep the promises that I made to myself. So I thought that would be a good theme this week. So if you like quick little stories about starting over while real life is lifing, check out my shorts and subscribe. And remember, choose consistency over perfection. I will see you next week or either tomorrow for my next short. Have a great evening.